I don't want to go back to America, but you
No,
need to
this
do
is-
something
no.
for us.
This sounds like threatening.
Is divorce.
It was the moment every 90-day Fiance fan dreaded and secretly waited for. All at once, Jenny Slatten, voice trembling, tears streaming, stood alone on that tell-all style stage as she realized she might not be walking back to Sumit's side, not because of lack of love, but because of what staying had cost her. That glance she shot into the audience, half hope, half heartbreak, wasn't just reality TV drama. It was a woman on the edge of losing herself. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button before we dive into the emotional unraveling of a relationship that has literally spanned continents, cultures, and controversy. From the outside looking in, Jenny and Sumit's story started like a fairy tale, an American woman and her Indian fiancé defying distance, tradition, and time itself. But, like any story worth watching, what seemed like love on paper became something much more complicated in real life. This isn't just a recap, it's the story of what happens when love meets culture shock, family pressure, and unmet needs that don't go away just because a camera crew showed up. Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh originally met online years ago, and their story first entered our homes on 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way. That spin-off focuses on couples where the American partner moves to their partner's home country, a leap that requires more than just luggage and a plane ticket. It demands cultural shifts, family negotiations, financial compromises, and a lot more emotional labor than most reality shows prepare you for. From the outset, fans were divided. Some rooted for the outsider, Jenny, brave and wide-eyed, flying halfway around the world for love. Others questioned her decisions, especially when she wasn't fully prepared for the cultural expectations waiting for her. On Reddit, one fan's comment, "I know a lot of people like Sumit and Jenny but I find them icky," captured a broader frustration. Relationships are complicated enough, but add betrayal, cultural misunderstandings, and hidden marriages, and suddenly the audience isn't just watching, they're emotionally invested in judging, analyzing, and debating who's right and who's wrong. But before things turned devastating, there were real, tangible highs. Jenny didn't just visit India, she relocated there. She spent years trying to build a life with Sumit, even though his relatives, and the community around them, brought a whole other level of scrutiny. Again and again on the show, you could see her wrestling with very human questions. Will I fit in? Am I truly accepted? Why does this feel so hard? Then came the hard truth. Jenny openly admitted in interviews that living with Sumit's family after years of trying to make it on their own was one of the hardest experiences of her life. In a recent exclusive interview, she shared that living with his parents for 9 months made her nostalgic for the independent life she once had and that she desperately wanted that part of herself back. Imagine that, moving across the globe for love, then sacrificing your independence day after day under the same roof where every meal, every schedule, and every expectation feels like it's dictated by someone else. In Jenny's words, quoted in People magazine, "Freedom is gone, we stay in our bedroom most of the time." Whether you agreed with her or thought she was being dramatic, millions of viewers felt that moment, that tight, claustrophobic energy of someone who gave everything and got less than she expected in return. And fans online erupted. Some defended Jenny's courage to speak her truth. Others said she never fully understood the culture she willingly stepped into. One user wrote that Jenny's mentality, "I'm old so therefore I should get what I want," was destined to clash with deep-rooted cultural norms, and that the couple's struggle over living arrangements was more about inflexibility than love. Still others on Reddit were brutally honest about Sumit too, painting him as someone who struggled to stand up for his wife and himself. One fan called him a spineless little shit for always siding with his family, suggesting that he saw them as his backup plan if Jenny ever walked away. But let's back up a bit, because here's where things get genuinely heartbreaking and where the drama fans thought they understood suddenly gets heavier. Based on recaps of earlier episodes, there was a pivotal moment on camera when Sumit was forced to go back to his parents' home, leaving Jenny alone in India. That moment wasn't just awkward TV, it marked the beginning of a slow, grinding erosion of trust. Now, I want to be clear. Contrary to some fan posts, I cannot verify that Jenny literally declared divorce on a tell-all stage in any official episode recap or interview available in public record. What is verifiable is that tensions reached a point where the couple's living situation, financial struggles, family pressures, and cultural clashes drove a wedge between them on national television. Fans didn't hesitate to react. Some empathized deeply with Jenny's long list of sacrifices, giving up her home, her routines, and much of her independence for this relationship. Others argued that she chose this path and had to live with the consequences. One Reddit commenter said they felt bad because Sumit's mom was such a jerk to her, but also recognized that the fallout of lies and deceit from early in the relationship made reconciliation complicated. But what's remarkable about this story, and why it resonates far beyond reality TV gossip pages, is the universal struggle underneath it all. We've all been in relationships where we wonder if love is enough. We've all had to balance our needs against someone else's expectations. We've all felt alone in a room full of people who care about someone we love, but somehow not about our experience. Which may explain why fans from completely different walks of life latched onto this story so intensely. One person online wrote that, culturally, Sumit staying with his parents makes sense in India, and that Jenny's resistance felt entitled because she didn't understand that dynamic, while others simultaneously felt sympathy for the silent pain both partners were going through. Here's where the narrative shifts from just another reality show couple to something truly human. Jenny's struggle wasn't simply about awkward family dinners or language barriers. It was about identity. She left a life she knew, her culture, her community, her routines, and threw herself into a world where she was always trying to prove she belonged, only to find herself questioned every step of the way. And then there's Sumit. According to the sources and fan discussions, he seems to be caught between two worlds, wanting to honor his family and wanting to be with Jenny, but never quite finding the strength to assert himself fully. Fans have criticized this, saying he maintained ties with his parents even after alienating his first wife, showing a pattern of prioritizing familiar comfort over difficult, messy commitment. This brings us to the most shocking twist, and I want to be absolutely clear. This isn't me making things up. This is verifiable fan theory and speculation that has blown up across Reddit. Some fans believe that the entire lived-in relationship, the back and forth with his family, and even Sumit's job issues weren't organic struggles, but were influenced by production incentives. One widely shared comment contended that Sumit intentionally avoided stable employment so that he and Jenny would have to move back in with his parents, a setup that guarantees drama, screen time, and emotional conflict for the show. If that's true, then what we're watching isn't just a relationship unraveling, it's a deeply layered performance where real emotions get caught in the crossfire of reality TV economics. And that reframes everything. It turns the question from, will Jenny leave? To, how much of this was ever hers to begin with? Now let me be clear, whether Sumit did this on purpose or not cannot be verified with hard evidence. It remains a fan theory, but it's one that gained massive traction because it feels plausible within the context of what we've seen live on camera and discussed on social media. So where does that leave us? Jenny, after years of emotional sacrifice, cultural clashes, and unrelenting pressure, stood on a stage, possibly the tell-all sensation fans dreamed of and dreaded in equal measure, and faced the truth: sometimes love doesn't conquer all. Not when the person you love doesn't fight for you the way you need them to. And that's where I want to leave you with something deeper than a recap. Not everyone's relationship has a neat ending, and not every struggle resolves with a catchy soundbite. Sometimes we watch these stories, the heartbreak, the tension, the cultural pulls, and see parts of our own lives reflected back. So tell me in the comments, what part of Jenny and Sumit's journey resonates with you the most? Was it the cultural clash, the family pressure, the emotional cost of trying to fit into someone else's world? Or do you think this was all manufactured for the cameras? If you stayed with me this long, hit like for more deep dives like this, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below with your raw thoughts, because this story isn't just about them anymore. It's about what makes relationships work, or fall apart. And remember, sometimes the most shocking twist isn't what happens on stage, it's what never gets said out loud. Heartbreak TV India, United States.
What do you think? Comment below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.